Sir, sir, hold on.
When you said that, I mean, yeah. I don't care.
All right, being 7 o'clock, we're gonna start the time we're meeting. The fire exits are out the hall, at each end of the hall, and there's a defibrillator across the hall for anyone who needs it. We're gonna start with the pledge of allegiance to the flag and a moment of silence for all the deceased residents of Hamlin. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now I have our invocation of Rob Wordinson of Emmanuel Baptist Church.
Father, we are so thankful tonight to be able to gather together and to do some business for the town of Hamlin. And we thank you for these that have dedicated their time to do that. We just pray that your hand of blessing will be upon them. Lord, we know that you have said that if we ask for wisdom, you will give it to us. Lord, we're asking for wisdom for each one of the councilmen as they make decisions tonight, that you will guide them and direct them through this. We're so thankful tonight that we have the privilege in this country to be able to do this kind of stuff. There's a lot of countries in the world where you can't. And we rejoice in that fact. And we pray this all in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Will the clerk please do the roll call?
Burbut.
Here.
Now. Here. Loco. Yeager.
Here.
Fox.
Here. At this time, we'll open up a public forum. To anybody in the audience who wants to speak, I see that we have a address or whatever for Chris Nettles. So you're up.
Hello, my name is Chris Nettles and I'm a scout in the Hamlin Troop of 324. I'm here tonight to ask the board about my Eagle Scout project. For those who don't know or want to remind, it's a welcome sign for the town park. It's going to be on Lions Drive down that way, and it'll say like welcome to Hamlin Town Park, Lions, Charlie Meyer Lodge, and sports fields, to kind of commemorate like the entrance of the park, because there isn't really a formal sign for the park. So basically, I'm here to ask about the actual like yes to go ahead and start building, and also I have some questions about the location of the sign itself, along with some design ideas that you guys have anything you might want to change. Due to some zoning codes, we aren't able to put it out by the road, like at the very entrance of the Lions Way into the park. So we have a couple different options, which I do have pictures of here. In the pictures, I'm holding a tarp that's 4 by 6 to kind of show the general area of what it would block. So if you want to look at these. This page is, they're labeled, but this page is my preferred area, and then the other ones have the other zones. Also included in those group of pictures is the type of brick I would use for it. It is a landscaping decorative brick. I use the example of the Kendall Town Park sign because I just really like the way it looks, and I think it looks professional and neat. I have also worked out the measurements of stuff. We changed the size of the sign itself with the words to 3 foot by 6 foot across. And I have that here. Here's another. Underneath the sign, one of the worries that Mrs. Applebaum had discussed with me, is that they don't want there to be any extra worries for the landscaping crew, such as like weeds growing up underneath, or like things that might need to get the weed whacker out to go around. So our plan is to use gravel or some kind of stone to kind of keep the plants from growing in that area underneath and around it. So the on the graph paper, the picture that I've drawn, the lower picture has the area around it. It's a 1 foot parameter, like more than the sign itself. That is all gravel and yeah. So I'm more than welcome to any ideas or things like that you guys might have for the sign that you might think look good. I did get in contact with the sign company that I'm working with, and I haven't gotten a quote yet for it, but they said that I'm only going to need to pay for the materials of the sign itself. They won't charge me for any of the extra labor or anything like that, because this is an Eagle Scout project. I also was very intrigued by the plastic drive for the composite benches that are going to be put together for the park. So I wanted to ask if the town or the recreation department would be interested if I made composite board benches. So I would get the endings of the benches themselves and then buy composite 2x4s that I can put together myself, and then the town can use them however they see fit around the park, wherever they need benches. And a couple things else with the project. Since I am the Eagle Scout of this project, I will be coordinating, planning, fundraising, and leading this project with the required volunteers I need, and I will come up with the times. All of the changes and choices that go along with this project, I will confirm with Anke to make sure everything is in line, or if anything needs to be changed, or if anything's not okay. Another thing I would like to clarify tonight is wherever the location is picked, I wanted to know if the town could dig it out for us, because there is an electrical box right nearby, and we're just worried about if there's any lines or anything there that we might hit, and we don't want that to happen. With the sign itself, it's going to need posts inside the interior of the brick. So we were wondering if they could also dig out the holes for that. And as of like time constraints and stuff, I want to start it this. I want to start it in this June and finish it by the end of this summer. I think would be the best ideal timing for this project. That's what I have to say.
So you talked about the sign. Are you getting all the brick donated to, or what?
I'm going to, the source we're using right now for the brick that we plan on using is from Lowe's. Those decorative bricks go for about $3 each. They're 12 feet long, 12 inches long, 8 inches deep, and 4 inches tall. I included that on the draft paper sketch out of the sign. So they're not too expensive, but we are going to buy them ourselves from Lowe's that we're planning on right now.
I don't know if you're trying to have, you are going to try and sell something or have a town-wide thing or whatever, like a raffle or anything like that, I'm trying to say to help you pay for this.
As of like fundraising goes, I'm gonna email around or send letters around to various like companies around, or just like talk at my church and be like, hey, I'm having an Eagle Scout project. I kind of need some funds to do that, and I might even do it at my school if I think I might need that too, and family and friends. My brother had a project a couple years back, and so we do have a list of people that donated to him. So we have contact information for them as well that we'll probably contact and hopefully get something out of it.
I was asking that because you could probably put the town clerk does like a page or whatever. And if you had a picture of what you wanted maybe your sign to look like or whatever, she could maybe put that on a page, and you can maybe ask for donations for it through the town's webpage that the town clerk is in charge of.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking, you know, you got information like that, maybe you get that to her and try and get some like that.
once we have a better idea of what the actual design of the sign itself will be, I'm working with the sign company right now with that. Once we kind of have that good and it's kind of in the process a little bit, I'll probably use that. It'll definitely help a little bit.
As far as digging and location, we probably have talked to our park superintendent, one who's in charge of the park grounds and everything, to see what he has to say. And do you have any, because there's actually, you're right, there's electricity there, there's a gas line from the road coming up there, there's a water line, but that's on the other side of the driveway. I think the sewer line, there's fourth sewer main, I think, but I think that's on the other side of the driveway there also. So, but you would have electricity and gas right now, if I remember exactly.
Yeah. And I don't know where the sign of that design, I don't know that you put anything in the ground versus boxing out and stone and concrete footers. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Do you know,
Yeah.
is that how that one's constructed?
We're pretty sure that that's how we're gonna do it.
Okay.
With the concrete farm, so there's a solid base there, it won't just fall over. But whatever needs to be dug in the ground, we want the town to do just so that we don't hit anything.
I think he's saying that with the structure, you may need like a sonotube or whatever. As big around as whatever the tall structures are, you may have to go down 4 foot deep. Get a sonotube or something, pour a 4 foot. I would almost think so if they don't move with the frost. So that's what they would probably have to do.
Yeah, which that's not an issue to do to help the project.
So it might get tweaked a little bit, because we can find out the location of the gas and stuff. Do you have any other problem with the location right there, as far as mowing?
No, I don't, because I think it's already broken up that the big mower doesn't really swing through there anyway, because we have the trees, we have the transformer. I don't have an issue with that location. You know, I think like we originally wanted, it would be really nice if it was further out, but we're limited there.
With zoning and the state regulations.
Yep. No, I'm with your ideal spot, I'm okay.
Any other discussion from the town board?
No, it's, part of the scout project, you're taking care of the budget, part of the thing.
What about the benches part of the idea that I had? Because I don't think me and Auntie had discussed that a ton.
No.
I don't know where the plastic drive is being run through. I think it's the Lions. Is it the Lions? Okay. So I have to ask them for that.
I'm the chair of that.
Oh, you are? Would that be something that would be intriguing, or the Lions and what they want to do with that?
I think benches are great to have in the park and on a future walking trail, and there's not just one park here, there's parks all over town, so, you know, I don't know how those benches are doing at other places, you know, so it'd be nice to have benches places for people to.
Are you saying you want to start your own class, like recycling plastic drive?
So there's
Make a bench from that?
So there's already a plastic drive going on right now, but I'm saying I would buy composite 2x4s from. I've seen them online, and you can buy the actual 16-foot 2x4s that are already composite material, and then we would cut them and make them into the benches. We chose 4-foot boards for each, so benches would be about 4 foot across. The boards themselves go for $30 for 16 foot of the composite material. One bench is 9 boards, and so we buy 9 of those 16 footers to make 4 benches we were planning on. Just because once you get buying that much, it starts getting a little pricey, along with the endings part of it. So the way the endings are is it's like the arm part, and you just put in the 2x4s and drill them, so that it makes a pretty firm bolt. We had one at our house for a while, and it lasted years with normal wood. So the composite material I think would be really good with this type of bench, especially going into a park as well.
Something to keep in mind is securing them so they don't walk away.
Yeah, that was one concern I had. I did want to see if they got confirmed if that was okay with doing these benches. Is how are the other benches going to be?
We're gonna be secure. We got the Lions Club actually, they're gonna be doing that.
So then, could they do the same thing with these benches too?
And then what I would do is I would contact them.
Yeah.
How they want to remain.
Oh,
They would also maybe be a funder for some of the
awesome. Yeah. I'll definitely get in contact with them and see what they have to say about the benches. Because it'll also give me more area to have like the leadership in the project, because I have to do a lot of work with my troop, obviously, and the boys in my troop don't like to listen. But I think the benches would be kind of a fun and easy thing for them to do that's not quite as intensive as like putting the glue for the brick down and making sure it's all in the right spot, which they could do, but I think the benches will also give more opportunity for more help, and other than just the sign, so there's more things for people to do.
I don't have a problem with the benches, I think it's
Yeah,
Good
you
idea.
just need to maybe hook in, and Katie Jo can tell you who to hook in with or whatever and stuff to work with her. So, yeah, we don't have a problem with that.
Awesome. If you find any problem with the location there, or if you have a better ideal spot that you think would be good there, I'll give you my contact information. But you just let me know and we'll work it out.
Yeah, because we'll have to get the utility contractors to stake it out, mark the utilities, and then we'll know.
Awesome.
I think it's a great idea. I'd like to see more information as you get closer to a final signed design.
Yeah, like I said, we're working with the sign company right now. We just got like the quote of the like, we won't have to pay for the effort or work, we're just gonna have to pay for material. We don't have a design or anything yet. I have a general idea of what I want to do, like with the words, but I think it'd be cool if we had like some like trees on the side of the words, kind of like arching in. I think that would be kind of nice and cool. But I've gotta ask the sign company about that and see what they think.
Alright, so this, I guess this board gives you the, go ahead and go, yes, let's start. Go ahead, it's a nice location, yes.
First of all, congratulations on working towards your Eagle Scout badge, because I have 3 Eagles, as a matter of fact. Just make sure that you come to the building department with the entire packet, so you can get the building permit to do this. There's no fee, there's no charge. We just want to have everything on record and in your file of what you're doing.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your favorite badge on there?
Probably this one down here, Wilderness Survival. I had to make a shelter and sleep in it at night. For one night, robotics was fun. I did a lot of the funner ones my earlier years, but there's a couple that were really fun on there. Yeah, I like the Wilderness Survival one.
Cool.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
I'll leave you some.
Good job.
Is there anybody else in the public who'd like to speak? Seeing that there's no one else, we're gonna close this. Oh,
I'm not sure if I should speak or not, but I came because I'm curious. I have submitted an application for a special use permit for a dog grooming salon out of my house where I would groom like 1 or 2 dogs a day. And I wanted to see if I could get approval. I submitted the paperwork to Cheryl earlier today.
that's not part of this meeting, it would be up to the mobile home park.
Mobile home park, that's
That's
correct. And I
out on
think-
States Railroad.
Yeah, Stacy did call me, saying, leave a message, and she had talked to Justine after I had, and, Justine would contact me, and I haven't heard from Justine yet, she must have got busy. I mean, there's a few hurdles she's gonna have to, jump over or whatever, see if we can even do it.
I wasn't sure of the process. I just wanted to make sure that I was doing what I was
That's great.
supposed to be doing, and I was a little late because I had to work, and I don't mean to interrupt. And I'm
No, you're
sorry
fine.
if I
No,
did.
you're
But
But
fine, we appreciate
State
it.
your name, please.
Stacy J. Ryan, I'll write it on the slip. I just didn't want to be interrupted. I didn't know the process, so I wanted to.
No, the mobile home park would be the first contact.
I did, I brought the lease for that because it doesn't restrict me or anything, so I just didn't know the process. If I
Yeah,
was
since the
supposed to
town
come.
doesn't own the property, they do, so they have the first say in everything.
Okay, I spoke with Justine, so I'll just have Justine give you a call then, and I
Okay.
apologize that I interrupted.
You're fine,
Thank
you're
you
fine.
so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right then, we are going to close the public forum and start our meeting. Requesting town board resolution to approve the regular town board meeting minutes of March 30th, 2022.
Second. Corbett,
Yes.
Now, yes, Bogo, Yeager,
Yeah.
Baz,
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to approve the payment of bills from their respective funds.
I'll second.
Corbett,
Yes.
Now, yes, Bogo, Yeager,
Yes.
Baz,
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to approve the public hearing minutes of March 30th, 2022.
So move.
You guys are on fire today. Corbett,
Yes.
Now, yes, Bogo, Yeager,
Yes.
Baz.
Yes. Supervisor's monthly report is now in file, and we give it to our town clerk. Number 10, requesting town board resolution to conduct a public hearing for Lake Shore Sewer District Number 2 in the town of Hamlin on this is where it's gonna we haven't made a date yet. We have, the 2 engineers can do it May 4th or 5th, I believe. I'm gonna look. It's a Wednesday, it's a Tuesday and a Wednesday.
Third or fourth?
Okay, 3rd or 4th.
No, calendars are backwards.
Yes, I know, I see it.
May?
No, not Tuesday, all right. They couldn't do it because JP has to be there also, and he had a date. Or he does cut the ton of cuts on the 3rd, so it would be the 4th and the 5th. It'd be a Wednesday and a Thursday.
You need 2 days?
No, we only need 1, but it's either one of those days. We don't have to hold a public hearing. That's when they could.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Sam.
Thank you.
I would prefer this, but
That's fine, as long as it's a board. I can do the 5th also.
Okay,
Would you
you're bringing
make
the
it,
margarita. So,
7 o'clock.
Yes, it would be 7 o'clock. All right, I'll continue. On the 5th day of May, 2022, at 7 p.m., located at the Hamlin Town Hall, 1658 Lakewood, Hamlin, New York, pursuant to the order written in the minutes of this board meeting. It was pages long, so I will And this wasn't even all of it. And we'll write in the rest of the dates on this order, now that we have the dates set. Yes. It must be at least 10 and not more than 20. They have to set a stipulation, can't be over 20 days out, so. Yes, this works in, if we get it in the paper this weekend, it will work out perfectly, it'll be like 15 or whatever it is, it'll be in between.
So what is, what do,
We can have discussion, please, that's fine, we'll do a motion. Go ahead, discuss. This is for the Kendall Sewer
just to give
District,
them
yes.
background,
Yes, they just went and finally got theirs done, starting to move forward, so now we have to have a meeting for our part of the Kendall Sewer District. And with our own people, we have to form our own district, and then we will have to merge them later on into Kendall's district. But the law says we have to do all this ourselves at first, form it, and then merge it. So this, like I said, this will be, they're gonna have a slideshow probably and everything with this, explaining to the people what everything is, giving them a price. It's significantly more than what ours was. It's over $600 a month right now. Or a year, I'm sorry, a year.
like, that's really expensive.
I'm like, oh.
How many are in that district?
There's 30 some people, there's like 40 parcels and some of them are vacant. 30 some homes.
You said 40 something like that?
Yes. And that's the rest of this. The rest of this had every parcel here. But I didn't think we needed to have it on this with every address on it.
So they didn't find, because I know they were gonna move forward, but I thought they were finding that it was kind of cost prohibitive after it went up like millions and millions of dollars, but they're just.
They are trying to get a loan right now. They still haven't secured a loan. From what I'm reading and from what I'm hearing from them, we'll find out more.
Basically, they're the ones that are gonna
It's gonna be their sewer line. They're gonna be
take care of the public hearing, it'll be their engineer here.
Our engineer will be also here, our attorney will be there, their attorney will be there. Both of the supervisors will be there.
With a map of where it's gonna run.
Yes, right now I still don't have a map.
Right, we'll get more information.
Yes, so I hope they have more information.
This won't be the first that they're hearing about our residents, right?
Yeah, well, they've heard about it, but this would be the first formal thing that they've got information and stuff like. We have told them, but we've been in the black a lot, or we haven't heard a lot. And so yes, this will be, they have to have letters sent out to them, they have to have a fucking notice plus letters sent out to every address.
So then we form the district, if we form the district, then they're gonna manage all the financial debt service and everything?
I believe we do,
Pay
it's
them?
like other sewer lines or water lines that are out of district or whatever that belong, that other towns tap into, because this would be the Kendall sewer line. We will collect the taxes from the people and then pay them to Kendall the first of the year, whatever date that is. Just like Clarkson has some people in their sewer line, they collect taxes and pay them in our sewer line. Parma also, or Clarkson and Parma, we both have agreements for that.
What about maintenance, like, in operation, are they totally gonna?
That's
take
Kendall's concern, because it's their sewer line. Will our towns merge with all this? We've talked about Kendall, Hamlin, and Parma merging. Whether we all hire somebody, whether we make a sewer district in Hickey town, we don't know where we're at yet. It's a possibility, we don't know. Okay.
I'll make a motion, I think it's important to have the public meeting and start discussing the information.
Second.
Robert,
Yes.
Mal,
Yes.
Loco, Geiger,
Yes.
Paz.
Yes. Now, I guess I'm gonna go to, in here, in this resolution that's passed, there is part of that says that the town clerk has to send a copy to the paper, that to list names on paper. Do I need another resolution to put it in there, or is that good enough?
Yeah, well, that's part of the order that you have in here.
So,
Yeah.
being that's part of the order, we do not need a separate resolution.
No.
All right, and number 11 is we can take out. Joel, you heard you were talking about a resolution for
The dog shelter.
the dog shelter. Yes, let's get the resolutions down there.
So we need, I'll explain it first. We need 2 male and 1 female certificates for spay and neuter. Taken out of donation account, and then we also need 200, and that's $258, and we need $270 taken out of the account for a dog that has period, which is a condition that has to be treated. There's about 585 at the account now, and so that would come out to, I think it was $528. So I'd like to make a resolution. Is there any discussion or?
What, no?
Okay, so I'd like to make a resolution to, take out $528 out of the donation account for the dog shelter to pay for, 2 male or 1 female, spay and neuter certificates, and a vet bill for, a pet that always has period.
A second.
And we'll have to get the actual account number for you for the minutes.
Yeah. Robert,
Yes.
Mal,
Yes.
Loco, Geiger,
Yes.
Paz.
Yes. While we were possibly doing resolutions, I gave all of you a sheet of paper with we had talked a couple meetings ago, or a few meetings ago. I finally got the guy. I went on vacation, he went on vacation. He came and did some street lights, but he also did all of the lights on the library and everything, and up the library garden that are already LEDs. So I had to have him out again and did it, and got another. So we finally got everybody together. Because we had talked that if we're gonna do this project, we wanna do it all at once, fixing our lights. We increased the amount of lights, we do have some LED lights here in the building that we didn't have on there before, but I walked around with them because I took a closer walk around this building looking at these lights. And there's some of our LED lights that are half full of water, have moss growing inside the lights themselves. The LEDs are not working correctly, you know what I'm saying? I guess, and he and I both looked at him, and he, being an expert on it, he says, yeah, that light's shot. So that's increasing, but at least we are, all the lights that are full of water and moss and everything, we're gonna replace also, even though they're already LEDs. They're fairly new, I mean, for LED, but I think they were 12 years old, the lights, the LEDs on this building. So, but like I said, they are shot. You can go out and look yourself. And so that increased. This is all the lights over on the Morton building across the way. The outside lights on that, except for the one over the owl, because that's already LED. This is the light over by the courthouse. The other lights that we already talked about. The big 1,000-watt that is on the playground, on that pole over there by the playground, shining in the playground. And we did one extra light. We missed one canopy over by the gym entrance door and leave that overhang. So as you can see, there's going to be 10, 11, 18, 19 lights actually are going to be replaced. And it is going to be a lot of savings, and
What does this equate to? So how long does it take to get 40,000, the kilowatt hour savings, 40,000?
Basically pays for itself in the first year, it looks like to me. If we kick in $5,700 and the annual savings is $5,805.
Where do you see the 50 from?
Written on the front page.
Okay.
I mean, it's, these are all speculative. The price of energy at the time and everything, it can fluctuate and everything, who knows? Because you can't do anything precisely. But it'll be paid for within at least 2 years, even if the prices change for energy and everything, so.
Can we do the lump sum payments, or you have
Yes.
an account where you could?
Yes.
That's a good 10% savings.
Yeah.
Looks like the warranty for 2 years, lamps for 1 year.
Yes, but I mean, they'll theoretically they'll last for 10 years at least.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All right, I'll make the resolution. Requesting town board resolution to go with the energy saving plan from National Grid to replace our lights around this building, the playground lights and the lights on the rec building, recreation storage building, for the price of $5,750.98 to be taken out of the cable franchise fee, which I'll put that number for you.
Is it this price?
The actual, yeah.
372?
No, I'm sorry.
No.
Yes, I read the wrong one. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
$5,272.32 is the actual price. So moved.
Second.
Probert,
Yes.
Hale,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Boco,
Yeah,
Bobbs.
Yes,
you said Google's a special project, huh?
yes, cable franchise.
Franchise.
Okay. And we will, is there any more resolutions? All right, then, let's go to reports. Councilman Yeager.
So on the dog shelter, well, first of all, it's, starting today is Dog Shelter Appreciation Week. We knew that, but it's nice to send Dave a nice message to Caroline that we appreciate them. Before they gave me the resolution, they also need the walkthrough, the pass-through.
Okay.
They say none of them are working yet, so I don't know.
You had someone fix them, didn't you?
No, that's not, when he sent me a thing saying, I don't think he did.
Okay.
So we want to look at that. The other thing for the library, they started, I talked about this program before, is the I Spy program for children and teens, and they just started that recently. Where you can do something with your family, say you go to the farm, and you have this whole package of stuff, and if you see a cow or a pig or, it's really just getting people familiar with having a discussion. It's trying to bring back people having a discussion rather than always, going on the phones and getting everything off the wall. which is also interesting because they're also running a library technology assistant program for people, that might not be so familiar with technology these days. So they're gonna, and since there's a lot of computers in the library, and, certain folks come in, have a difficult time, so they're actually gonna give patrons assistance on how to use some of the computers. And they're also accepting book donations to prepare for the Friends of Library book sale. So if you have books you want to bring over.
What's the sale?
I don't know what the sale is, but they're accepting the donations now.
Do they take like DVDs and stuff like that, or just books?
Books. And that's all I have for the library. Really, it's very interesting. So the people count for March along with almost 1,600 people. It's something, it's fascinating when you think the libraries are so exciting for people, but I think kind of like good people really support it. So
On that, she actually called me over to the library this month, in the last couple of weeks. I talked to her, because they're having some computer problems. So they are
that's
going
why
to,
they want the assistance from
well, they're gonna start a program, they're gonna start replacing the staff computers first with the newer ones. Because they have 20-some computers total over there. And then once the staff learns how to use the new computers, they're gonna start, on the outside ones, they want the staff. I told them that the staff, getting the staff up with new computers that they have to use is more important than other ones at this time, so. They'll probably be coming before the board or whatever with that kind of, or with something about their computers in the future. All right, thank you. That's person over.
Okay, zoning board of appeals, there was a public hearing continuation for, a shed down on Shore Acres. They needed 3 different variances. One was a shed should be erected behind the main front foundation line of the principal dwelling. There's no other dwelling on this property, so they needed a variance for that. Minimum lot size is 2 acres down there. This parcel is 0.17 acres, pre-existing non-conforming, the lot size. So they need a variance for that, and also for minimum lot width, which it should be, in code it's 150 feet, and this lot is 50 feet. There were no public comments, and that was approved. And then there was a sketch plan, for a parcel on Brick Schoolhouse Road that someone is considering purchasing, but they just wanted to make sure, they just kind of wanted to survey the board, I guess I would say, if they did purchase it, would they be able to erect like a pole barn on it without a principal dwelling? The board said obviously you can't grant anything that, you don't own, can't tell you one way or another, but, I guess the applicant could bring in a signed purchase agreement between the buyer and seller and get the town payment process started. And that was it for that. Chamber of Commerce, I could not attend. I don't know if you want, if you have anything that you'd like to add on that, feel free. I think they're just working on the treasure chest the weekend before Mother's Day. I don't know if I sent Dan an email, I didn't hear anything back from him, if any Hamlin businesses responded to the
They did not.
letter we sent out.
They did not, and I suggest, what we can do in case anybody does respond is other businesses have offered space for, because I said to them there's a lot of businesses in Hamlin that are home-based. If there was a way that they could participate in that in a way that would promote their businesses. And that's where they said that there are businesses in Hilton that have plenty of space. So if a Hamlin business a home-based business wants to participate, they could set up a table in another business and be able to promote whatever it is they want to promote from their own business.
So at the treasure track that was
Through the treasure track, so participate in that way.
The history committee, we had our first meeting, and there was 12 people there. It was a really good turnout. There's a lot of interest. People are really charged about it and seem pretty interested, and it was a really great meeting. Mr. Crum, from the historian from Hilton, and from the village and farmers historian, he was there, and he kind of just gave us some ideas on how to run meetings and what we can do with the group based on all of his experience and what they've done. And he really advocates for becoming a society, a historical society, and everyone in the whole group agreed that that's the route they would like to go, is to form a historical society. There was 2 members there who were instrumental. They were like the president of starting the Clarkson Historical Society, and they also said that once you're a society, it just gives you openings for getting access to grant monies, and that's how they redid that whole school in Clarkson. They got like a $250,000 grant or something to do that. So that's the avenue they wanted to go. I said I would bring it up at the meeting and see what everyone thought, if there was any opposition, and if we were okay with them moving forward. They would have to get a charter. Dave Crum gave us a lot of information on what we would have to do in order to become a society. Yeah. And then we would have to have he suggested getting a petition of maybe like 40 names of people who were in support of it. That would be helpful in getting the charter. And then we need a board of directors with a president, vice president, treasurer, secretary. But I mean, there was 12 people at that meeting, and there was a bunch that couldn't attend the first meeting, so I think we're up already probably in the 15 range. So everyone was really excited about it. It was a great meeting. And one thing we discussed working on, which I'm guessing this letter here may already be one of them, is we talked about the president from the Hamlin Seniors has joined the historical committee, and he was bringing back to them if they could write letters to kind of chronicle like their lived experience with COVID, just because we were talking about it's such a historical time, and we're living it, and we don't appreciate what a historical couple of years these are for a pandemic, but when you look back in history, pandemics are a pretty big thing. So down the road, this will be the historic times we're living in. So we talked about getting some, and Dave asked for this way back in, I think, 2020. He put something on his Facebook page and sent us a memo about doing this, but I don't think he got a good response. Of having people just chronicle what was COVID like for you, what it means for your family, your job, your life experience, how did it affect you, your health, your, everything, and what's affected kids, their schooling, elders. A lot of this, the people who were there, the seniors who were at this meeting really said how much they've missed in-person interactions and meetings and just that kind of human connection. So I think that's why some of them are actually so excited about this group. They've actually said to me, they're like, we're just excited that we can get out and meet and do something. So anyway, Ron Klein sent out an email to the seniors, and he did ask them if they could submit any letters about their experiences. So that's one thing we're starting on. I think the next meeting will kind of outline a couple more goals. We talked about why people were there and what they wanted to see from the committee, and if there's anything in particular. I think we're going to start with getting some of the stuff out of the attic and bringing it down. Dave said he's just got boxes and stuff, but he doesn't even know what's in there, so we're going to be pulling some of that out. There's a computer program you can get to do this chronicling and identification of what some of these items are, and it can all be on this computer program. So it was a great meeting. The Hamlin. If you want to put together a little article for the newsletter about writing a COVID experience, we can put that out there. Yeah. Oh, one more thing, we talked about naming, and I don't know the process of what we have to do to do it, but naming the main room, like the Mary Smith room in the History Center, since it was really her
see exactly how you go about doing it, I'm not sure.
Just a honor for,
Right, just a dedication.
yeah.
Yeah. Did the board have a problem with them looking into going to, talking to the state maybe about forming a society?
No.
I don't have a problem with it either, so I mean, if they want to, keep looking into it, or whatever, I know it's a lengthy process.
It'll take, it'll take some time.
Right.
But, okay. Is there something I was wondering, if there's no, for fire protection there, is there like a sprinkler system or anything? I mean, how does that work?
No, there is fire, smoke detectors, or fire detectors in the ceiling and stuff. They have, fire extinguishers, but that's it.
Thinking maybe some grant money to get something installed there, and then if there was a fire and all that was lost, it would work.
I don't know what kind of system you want. Cause I don't
The
know
automatic one?
if you, I know it, but I don't know if you want a wet system.
Oh,
Cause I
with
know
all the,
with all the antiques, I don't think you wanna douse everything. So I don't know what kind of system you want in there exactly, so. They would have
they
to
use
be,
in like museums and stuff.
Where they like that.
Where they take the oxygen out of it.
That's a lot of places like that. Or you use parking here, maybe 6 in it, so the problem is that you will make sure they're not in there,
Yeah, right.
except switch at night.
but they can look into that.
Maybe grant money, I'm thinking it could maybe become a society and that else. And the roof was repaired and
Yep, got ahold of Dave and asked his son to come over and they fixed all the bad spots, they cleaned up all the shingles that were blown off. Did a very nice job.
yeah, I had asked them if they could do it and said, I don't know, and then sent a message. I said, is it warranted still,
That's the thing, they were over there right away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Other person, yeah.
We had our first, cultural committee meeting. Our next one is scheduled for April 28th. We had some great ideas. We discussed an end of summer kids celebration, around Labor Day that we're trying to see if we can pull some stuff together for. There is a Hamlin fishing tournament. We're talking about expanding that. And we're also talking about building up around Christmas time and events around there, and after Christmas, maybe some sort of winter carnival, slash fair. So that looks pretty good. The ideas were great. We had some good solid attendance, so I think we're gonna be able to get some stuff off the ground. No news from Hilton Pomo or ambulance, but we do have the Veteran Services Town Hall that I believe you have all received your official invite for. I did go meet with the Legion in Rockport tonight to let them know, what we have going on and what kind of event will be there. We have a great lineup. We have the death benefits. We're gonna talk about the healthcare benefits, senior aging, nursing care benefits will be there. Hunting, fishing, license discounts. We're gonna talk about, tax exemptions and the VA loan program. We are also gonna have the Blue Star Mothers, the Gold Star Moms, and lots of other great supportive groups of veterans. It's turning out to be a great event. And I did reach out to National Grid to start talking to them. I know Anki has too. Talking to them about getting easements so we can get veterans banners up on the poles. Shouldn't be complicated. Tons of towns do it. It should be pretty standard. Just gotta jump through that hoop. They're discussing flags tomorrow night for the poles that I'm assuming you put up. I guess some of them were tattered.
Yeah, we don't weather very well, and if you
Yeah.
can get me the current contact. Because in the last few years,
Angel Mail.
perfect. So you're gonna unwrap the DFW and give me the flags?
Believe it or not, Angel
Okay.
Mail, yes.
That works good.
So, yeah, so that meeting's tomorrow night. Hopefully they figure out how many flags we actually need, because nobody actually knew that number.
You have the number I gave you?
In my email for the
Okay.
banners, yeah,
'Cause I don't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
what it was.
So I'll look at that and I'll make sure Trent's got that when he goes to the meeting. And hopefully that should be good. They are very thankful and appreciative that we will be rolling and mowing the softball field. And there will be a Easter bunny pancake breakfast to benefit the Nowicki family who are adopting a small Ukrainian boy who was unfortunately in the thick of things right now. That's it.
The boys in that household.
Oh, they say once you have two, I mean, it's not a big deal. 2, 6, it's all the same.
Councilperson Hurlbut. Hamlin, Morton, Walker Fire District, they've had 137 calls year to date. They've had real good participation in a new members training program. They had a good turnout response for the windstorm. And they are moving ahead with improvements to the Walker Fire District remodeling, and they're replacing a 1996 pumper with the new pumper. They're in the process of that right now. That's it for that district. The planning board, there was a public hearing for 20 Welch Avenue. Jonathan Ross, he was seeking a special use permit for a fishing tackle business located at 20 Welch Avenue. Just out of his house, he makes flies and whatnot, and all fishing locally. That was approved. And there was a final commercial site plan approval for PEM LLC, which is Quickly's convenience store in the old Bob's Grocery. And that was approved. And they're hoping to get a building permit and start with demolition. And hopefully by July they can start construction, dependent on what the availability of materials will be for the store. And then conservation corridor permit for 6348 Shore Acres. He was looking to put a shed within 100 feet of a DEC wetland. He had DEC approval, and that was also approved. And then there was a Mylar re-signing at 131 Victor Lane for a house. There was already a site plan approved a couple of years ago. This plan had no major changes to it, and that was approved. That's all I have.
Highway Superintendent, Mike Jones. We started getting around and getting all the sod damage cleaned up, things from winter, all the snow fence down out of the way for the farmers. Working on getting parks cleaned up, cemeteries cleaned up, as the weather's getting nicer and people are coming out and enjoying them. And working on some of the plans for them, and then working with Anarchy, trying to feel out where we can relocate some fields to make this walking path happen. And moving ahead with some of that. I've been working with the DEC down to the fault launch, trying to get all the dangerous trees out of there, get that cleaned up. They've been very thankful for the help down there. As you know, like every other state agency that has no people, no time, no money. It's about what we're up to. Okay, thank you. Code enforcement, Cheryl.
Okay, the department issued 32 permits, since the last town board meeting. We received, a little over $1,200 in cost and valuation over $700,000, which is great. 3 permits have been closed. We had 196 phone calls in the office. People are still interested in doing all the work, but now the cost of lumber has gone back up, and it's challenging for them to do what they want to do with the property and enjoy the property. 7 violation notices were sent out. I just received this week the completion certificates for my Gavoa Annual Educational Conference. So that's all done for the year, although I'm still going to take the other classes I've signed up for that are no charge, but they've already canceled 3 of the classes due to scheduling conflict. So the thing that they did have Gavoa in person. And everything's going good. That's about it.
And there's a tree giveaway, right? That
Yes, the tree
anybody
giveaway
can help with.
is
April 23rd.
April 23rd here at the town hall between 9 and 11. If anyone wants to participate and help pass out trees into the conservation board, would appreciate it.
Did everyone, I know we extended the timeline for them to do all their trainings, did the support board, did everyone?
Everyone has yes.
They just had new classes. They just sent out to Cheryl and I the new classes that they can take right now she sent to, I think we sent them today to all the support, to fulfill their 4-hour training.
And your trainings. I sent you, yeah. But I think it's a great, I told everybody on the email that it's a great opportunity to get training done now so that come November and December, you're not screwing and get something done. And you can do it from home.
Something different?
It's about planning and zoning, but it's a webinar, so it's 2 hours per class, and then you get your 4 hours of training. So it's good.
I don't know what the same courses they always take, it just came up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen what they take and I haven't seen what they see yet, but get it done before, we're not gonna keep on extending it.
They do understand that too.
Yeah, I know they do, but, so it's good, it's already, they got time.
Yes. I'm all set.
Okay. Is that Tom Turner have anything?
No,
No? Okay.
thank you.
Recreation, hockey.
Long report alert. All right, first, Easter egg hunt yesterday went really well. We had 85 kids, out of which 6 did not arrive, but this morning I saw there was another 17 people that had registered on the waiting list. So next year I'm just going to prepare for 100 to 120 kids and be done with it, and hopefully that's enough, because I don't know where they all came from, but they're here and it's wonderful, and I had it set for only Hamlin residents, and this was only Hamlin residents, so I'd like to think that next year it'll be even better. Town calendar, we discussed this very briefly last year. I think it would be a nice thing if we actually do get together with all the boards and the clubs and the committees and functions going on in this town, to create a calendar that we could give to folks in November and December of this year that state the important dates of town events, of meetings, of things that we already know we do every year. If we could get something like that done, we would need to have these dates and all that information by the middle of August. Let's say end of August, so we can get it printed in September, October, around that time, so it would be out by November, December to give to folks. And maybe funds that have been used in the past for the Hamlin Express, the newsletter that was sent out 3 times a year, could be used for that purpose instead, so that people have that thing on their refrigerator, they see these dates, and maybe it could incite more volunteers. And like you say, people wanting to get out, if they see these things are open, these committees that we need volunteers for all the time, maybe they're more, let's go do it, knowing what's out there. It would mean that all of us, all these organizations within the town have to be on board with that and be able to organize these dates this year. Not really that hard, but maybe we could do that. I think that would look nice. So that's,
Even if something's not set in stone,
Right.
a date, you might have like a general idea of when, so it could be like listed in that little section of
Like
the
a blurb,
month, you
yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
then put like a website to check for date when it,
yeah,
something like that where information is
that's a great idea.
available.
That's a great idea, yeah. So I think that would be a good thing to get going on. I have given you all a report. In the last few years, sports have declined, and I don't have all the explanations, but as far as this report goes, I just wanted to maybe help a little bit with the understanding of it, because for somebody who's just looking at this now, it might be like, oh my gosh, what has happened? And it is oh my gosh, what has happened? But it's not just here. This is a national problem. Kids aren't signing up for youth sports in teams the way they used to in the past. This has been now for at least 5 years. I made a graph of just our numbers as far as I could go back as far as our computer records go. We do have further records that are down in the vault that are on paper, but this was the easiest to pull up with the numbers on the second page. I also spoke with Heather. She's the contact person from the Hamlin Hornets about participation in their club, and she said that up until 5 years ago, they had at least 3 teams in every age division. Now they're struggling to form 1 in every division. I did not know it was quite like that. Cheer participation, she said, is down over 60%. This is from a group that was state champions, I believe it was 5 or 6 years ago. Lot less participation. And I asked her also whether the facilities here in Hamlin would be of good use. She said, unfortunately, they're competing for the same kids as the Brockport football club, and their presence up there is important to be in Brockport, as well as the size of the facilities there. But they're also having a hard time, and I'm hoping that with their registrations now going in the gym, I'm hoping they're doing better this year than they did last year. Mercel Soccer, that's the recreational league we work with for the U10 and up teams. This year we're going to take U10 out of that league because last year we had so few refs sent to us by Mercel. Most of the parents were complaining. We decided we're going to keep this team in-house, like our U8, meaning that they're going to be playing in a much smaller league organized by Hamlin, Kendall, and Sweden. So the parents don't have to go as far. It will be a much smaller circuit. The refs, we coordinate the refs for these games. They are not being sent from Mercel. And it gives us the possibility of creating co-ed teams because we're in charge of it. And we do have small amounts of boys that are still wanting to play up to the U10 level, and this would be a way to allow them to play, and they don't seem to mind at that age whether they're playing on a co-ed team, and they're just playing, which is a good thing just to get them out there. So now U8 and U10 will be kept in-house, and U13 and up will remain within the Mercel League. That said, the league had to cancel the girls U19 as well as the boys U19 divisions. There were not enough registrations. Hamlin had the only full girls soccer team in the entire county. So they had no one to play against, and so they had to cancel that division. So we're only going U13 and U16, and both of those teams are full. So, I mean, full. We could still take a few, but they're in really good shape. On a national level, I wrote down some statistics for what the number was in 2017, according to an institute report. I also provided some links. If you like, I could send you these digitally, so it's easier to follow up on. These are really good articles, many of which include graphs on a national scale of the various sports, how they've been affected, when they've been affected. It's an interesting report to read, and they've started much earlier than 2017, actually. So this has been an ongoing issue. The solution, the National Recreation and Park Society, along with our local Genesee Valley Recreation and Park Society, has been trying to figure out ways to combat this. Many of the municipalities are or have already built large community centers. A lot of this is because they're losing their athletes, their young athletes, to private and commercial sports facilities. Things like TSC, Total Sports Experience, they provide them year-long. They always provide referees. They're flashy. The uniforms are nice, so they might be paying more, but they're guaranteed a team. They're guaranteed a ref, and that's where a lot of these kids are going. So what are they doing? They're setting up their own facilities. Now, this is not something easy for Hamlin to do. I realize that, but that's one of the ways that's being combated. And the other thing is try to figure out what your people, what your residents want to do, and what within that, those many wants and those many asks, are we capable of doing? And that's where my final list came. This has been a cumulation of requests from Hamlin residents I've had over the years. Splash Park, now the shade system, I was asked about that last year. When are we going to get umbrellas? Well, I don't know. The problem now for this year is I've written some good material for grants, but the problem is I didn't get quotes from the shade companies because of these supply issues, because they don't know how much they're going to charge. So in the meantime, the grant deadlines have passed. Because I didn't get the quotes, I needed to make a request for how much money I actually need. And this is a problem in the field right now. So anything having to do with sports facilities, shade system, playgrounds, anything like that is on back order. It's on hold. They don't know when or what's coming in. What else did we say? Biking trail, walking trail, we know that. Disc golf layout, this would cost us about $3,000. It's not really that expensive. I had a staff last year, Isaiah, who's actually a disc golf player. He mapped out a very nice course, should we want to do that here in the park. A dog park has been requested for years and years and years. This is really, I think, a social thing for the dog owners. They get together and hang out, not so much for the dogs, but they hang out too. But it's just a social thing for people to go to the park and do something. Whether we have the space or not, that's up to you to decide whether you want to use any part of the park for that. I've been told about a climbing rock wall. That's a tough one. Yeah, well, where? Air conditioning the gym so we can use it in the summer for activities. One of my suggestions in the past for that would be potentially maybe having just the air conditioning solar powered for that type of thing. I don't know how feasible something like that is if the expense for running an air conditioner is too much. Maybe using some of that heat to cool it. And then regular small events in the park continuously happening to give people an excuse to go and gather and just be in the park. And if it's something like music events or anything like last year I had a laser tag event one day in the park, or we did free adult soccer nights, things that also would cause us to open the concession stand. So all in all, just activity, a buzz in the park is what people are asking for on a regular basis, a little bit here, a little bit that, something like that. So these are, and then you talk to the people when they're there, and it's a lot easier to promote our programs. And I use an example here. If you're sending the residents to another town to use their facilities, like a splash park, I'm just throwing that out there as an example, to use their facilities, the chances of them signing up for programs in those towns is much higher. Because they're seeing that organization, they're seeing that investment in the community there, and they're like, oh, maybe it's better here, and they'll sign up for something that we might actually have, but didn't know because we didn't have an opportunity, or they didn't look online, but we didn't have that face-to-face to be able to say, hey, we're doing this, and we're doing that, and we're doing that through other events other than sports. So that's that with sports. Does anybody have any questions in regard to that particular report? Yeah.
I know some of these things are a little bit too pricey for the town, probably, at least at this point.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, we can't build we're not Penfield or whatever, we can't build a multi-million-dollar community center.
No.
even the splash park, they're very, very expensive and takes a lot of money to run.
Yes.
But some of these are disc golf, we have still in talking about a dog park, your walking, biking trail, your shade system, we understand that. I mean, we've had pickup trucks ordered for over a year, we can't get. Trailers, we just found out, utility trailers to tow our equipment around 8 months out. They won't give you a price.
Yeah.
Because what's the price gonna be in 8 months, they don't know, so they won't quote you a price.
Right, that is it.
So, we understand what you're saying and everything, and it's tough to do business like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, air conditioning in the gym? No.
No.
Could it be something like that? I mean, we have always talked about those electric energy units like what we see on TV also as far as, instead of a great figure, we would have to get quotes out there and everything and see exactly which is more, feasible, which is gonna be the better use of your money.
Yeah, and Aki and I chatted not too long ago, and she said there was this whole list of stuff that, was kind of thrown at her, and I suggested focusing on one or two, just take one or two off the list, figure out what's stopping us from doing it, what are the challenges are, how about we identify a cost around that, and then start picking off pieces of one, and move one project along, and then, start to see what we can work on next, kind of thing, to follow that up. But I think looking at this list, it looks overwhelming to me. I don't know, oh, that's great, but what one do we do first? What do we have to do to get one of them off the ground and moving in the right direction? So that would be my suggestion.
I would say we go with the walking trail at this point. This is the one we thought about starting, we have the run going with it. I think that would be the most feasible at this point in time, I think.
And Mike's relocating the
And-
fields already,
Yeah.
right?
And maybe, check out the disc golf, whatever.
Integrate that disc golf into that at some point, but one at a time.
One at a time, yeah. No, I think that's great. That's great. Okay, I'll go quickly through the rest of this. I received a $1,000 grant from the New York State West Youth Soccer Organization, and this will be put toward the new soccer goals that I ordered for the large soccer field. They're going to be coming in, again, it's a supply issue, hopefully in time for the soccer season. I was told May, so we shall see. Summer camp hours this year will be going from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. And the reason for that is so I'm sure that I have enough staff. I know we're on the end of the pandemic, it's receding, and this is great, and that's why we're seeing a lot of activity now. But nevertheless, it is not completely gone, and people do get sick sometimes, so I need to be able to have backup staff in order if anybody gets sick, and it happened last year, and I'd hate to have to close down again, but from 8 to 4 at least, I only have to worry about one shift of staff, including the field staff and potentially the concession stand and refs and umps and whatever, rather than all that and 2 staff shifts. So I think this is gonna work well. As Jennifer mentioned, I did go to the Chamber of Commerce meeting. There's an opportunity there for us to promote our programming through the Chamber of Commerce, which helps. I've already sent them a copy of our latest brochure, so that is also being put out on their Facebook page. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm going there, as an additional way of promoting all our stuff. And there I found out from the president of the Chamber of Commerce that there was a huge meeting taking place the following day for stakeholders in regard to the solar eclipse of 2024. You're going to think this is nuts, but we are in the path of totality of this thing that's happening in 2 years from April 8th. The center, the absolute center of the moon shadow of that solar eclipse is passing through Hilton, and 35 miles in either direction is going to be this full totality. And what happens is that there are many people all over the world that look for this event when it happens, especially if it's during the day, and especially if it's in a location that's easily accessible. Because sometimes these paths are in the middle of fields or prairies or deserts or what have you, people can't go there. We are accessible. We are extremely accessible. So this makes us think about two things. One is we need to prepare for it, because there's going to be an awful lot of tourists coming at the same time and leaving at the same time from this whole area, not just Hamlin, but Hamlin Hill. And Hamlin and Brockport are getting 30 seconds more of this eclipse from where we are located rather than on the east side. And we have a lot of country roads that people with their RVs might think, oh, this is a great place to camp. So we need to prepare for that. Are we going to allow that? Are we going to set up special viewing areas? What do we want to do? So we need to, infrastructure-wise, we need to prepare, and also potentially for events or monetizing it somehow. So I went to that meeting in the city, and I thought, what the heck, and found out all this information about how we are really going to be in the center of all this. The only thing that would stop it is the weather. So, so it's a 52% chance it's going to happen, they say, according to the science, that we might have good enough weather for this to actually go through. So we don't have to do it right now, but I'm just planting the seed. This is going to happen. It's going to happen in 2 years for us to think about and potentially prepare for in some way. And the final thing was, the treasure check, setting up a table for our programming, wherever it is, if I can get a staff to go to that. And that's it.
You can sell the glasses,
Yes, that's what we would get the glasses if we go into this thing regularly and give that away.
State park, there's plenty of room down there.
Yep, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of people here, a lot of people.
But only 50% chance, that's a big investment.
Isn't it? And then they all leave at the same time. They might come slowly, dribble in slowly, but at 4:20 on that day, everybody's done. So there's going to be millions of people on the road. They're already saying they're going to cancel schools that day. One is so that everybody has an opportunity to see it, including the teachers. But since the eclipse, the peak is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they don't want kids on the bus. They don't want the buses getting stuck on the road in the midst of all this traffic. They don't want the teachers there, so they might just do a half-day supervisor's day that morning, and then everybody get home in the afternoon. So that's what's already been planned. It's a Monday. Yeah. And that's it. Isn't it? Mm-hmm.
You got anything for any of the anything fancy? Prayer. What, that's it? Tell quick.
I got a couple of things. We've already started to get people coming in for spring junk days, paying for fires and freon and things. So the books, we remembering Hamlin books are in the office. So buy them up before they're gone again, $25. I will be at the New York State Town Clerks Association Conference the end of this month, April 24th through the 27th. And we have test kits available in our office if everybody would like.
That's it. All right, discussion topics. We had a nice letter from the people who do the Meals on Wheels for the town and thanking us for helping to sponsor the Meals on Wheels, the kids and everything we got to the people who came to that. It was a very nice letter and they thanked us for doing that. Sewer easements, we just got another one today. So we've got 4 actually signed, handed out a couple more. I'm gonna try and get out more this week and go see people knock on doors, do whatever. Trying to bring their minds to, hey, get these easements going. Our web page, we've been working on that. We actually got a couple of quotes and one really nice quote, but we're still working on it, trying not to rush into it and see what comes out. We will. this year we will have a webpage, a better one. It will happen, but we don't wanna rush into it and do something wrong. But the one people are, it looks really nice, the one page it is there, but we also have to find out what each, like the clerk's office and what everybody wants on the page also. We are going to do, I have measured, I have talked to every office here. We are going to tear down these ugly shower curtains. And we're going to put plexiglass up. I talked to everybody, they actually like the idea, and who knows what's coming down the road. And, you know, just because they do want to have maybe some separation from, but at least the plexiglass and the framework around them will look a lot neater than shower curtains. It's embarrassing. I understand an emergency, but after 2 years, it's coming to an end. We have a contract for Verizon. I sent all the board members, our attorney knows what I'm talking about also. I discussed it with her. Put a tower down by the highway garage. They want to lower the money they pay us. There are some things, all they did was send us, I talked to her, she sent us a template, not a single dollar amount in it. I mean, you know, they did give us a dollar amount, but it's not a contract. So it's like, I guess I'm urging us to say, okay, let's kind of go, let them know that, okay, we're thinking about this. And that's what I emailed the woman back too. We'll think about lowering the cost. But we want to see a written contract so we have something to compare about the other one. A written amendment to our contract, I guess I should say. So we want a written amendment, but she wants us to say that we might think about it. So yes, and we don't need a resolution for this because we're not accepting anything. We're just going to tell her that, okay, we'll think about it, but we want to see a contract. And I told her, you write up a contract, we still have final decision. We got to read the contract and we'll decide then.
Think about a lot of things.
Yeah.
All the time.
But I mean, and maybe it'd be something, maybe that's $150 drop a month. So maybe it's something that we want to counter once we have an amendment in our hands and agree and compare it. Maybe we want to give her a counter offer. Maybe, all right, we'll drop down $75 a month, cut that in half. We'll go for that. It's just something, you know, but I just want this board, let's get something in writing first. That we can see what's going on, and then we can compare and maybe make adjustments, and if they don't want to adjust, then we'll say yes or no. Whatever, I or nay, and they'll have to live with it, because right now we do have a contract that is in impact. And all right, everybody? We're not accepting this one right now, but we want to see something in writing, that's what I'm saying, and that's what I told her also. I don't want to screw them up and have that right now. We can always do a counter. Let's get something in writing first. I mean, yeah. Definitely, I would maybe think of a counter offer. Not to take, but it also is all in the contract. Because there's other things that they may or may not put in there, or the amendment. We have to make a date to interview. We had 2 people who put in for the fire marshal. So we have to make a date when we can interview these people. Today is the 11th. Ron leaves the 31st. Or 30th or whatever of May. So we have some time. So I know one of our council people is gone for a couple of weeks for family, starting next week. We can try to do it later on this week, but this week is kind of packed. Or do you want to go into May with it?
Do you think we could do it
we can do it like that second week in May.
What about, like, if we did it before our second town board meeting, like at 6? On the 25th. You know, on April 27th.
We have, or maybe on, do we have anything for zoning workshop that we do in the same on the side?
We have quite a few things for zoning workshop coming up
I
in
will be,
April.
I will be at it.
It's this week, isn't it? Is it this week or next
I
week,
guess
isn't
we
it?
have, we don't have to come in a whole
Yeah,
separate
I have
day.
quite a
We
few
could
things I
piggyback
need
it on
to
something that we already have.
rehash and go over.
Maybe do it.
Make some decisions.
So what do we have going on?
I would suggest the second or third weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
This is zoning workshop.
And Cheryl's gonna be ready with this too, since you are in charge of this person, Cheryl, so you have a say on,
Yes, I would like to be included.
well, you are going to be included definitely.
Okay, sounds
So we're including you on when you have time, because since they work under your office, you should be there also doing the interview.
I can't do a Monday, unless you do a Monday earlier than when the meeting time.
Yeah,
Is
because
the
all,
19th, the zoning workshop?
In May, so you don't have something for this.
I've got it, yeah. May
Right.
19th would be fine. I think it's better to do it that week than wait a week. 'Cause, you know, who knows how the interviews are gonna go? What if we need to advertise again? I mean, we don't know.
the 19th of May.
Yeah, I could do 19th of May, Tuesday.
That's a zoning workshop
Yeah.
night.
Zoning workshop.
So would you want?
Yeah, we can do it before the zoning workshop, yeah, that's fine. So the 19th of May, what was it, 7 o'clock, at 6:30 then? Or do you wanna go at 6? Maybe 6, because I,
6 probably.
our other interviews ran a little long, that I put you forward for our assessment. All right, 6, on the 19th of May. If they can, we'll try, and I mean, as long as they're both gonna be in town. All right, we'll work for that date then, and I will talk to, I'll call them over. See if they can both be there. One last issue for discussion. I was wanting to put, for our handout, I wanted to go and carry on signs around town, I talked to the fire department. Their Wi-Fi was down for, the guy who was doing their signs, the Wi-Fi wasn't working, didn't want to change, they had trouble changing it. The library only has one person who can change their sign and knows how to change it, she was out after surgery or whatever. Our side here is just about a joke out front. I probably could have gone to the VFW, and but I didn't, I forgot about going to the VFW, to be honest. So we didn't get the nicest stuff. I did go to Channel 9, but they never put it on their news. We did get a sign from the fire department. I want a sign out front that we can change electronically, just like every other organization in this town has. We tried years ago. I was the one who was spearheading it. I had to keep going to the 3 different companies for doing 3 quotes. For like 7 or 8 months, I went to them because every time I went, well, do you want color? Do you want this? Do you want that? The size? I don't want the fake brick around it, the plastic or whatever, fiberglass. I want real brick. So every time I'm going back to 3 different companies, getting different quotes, it went out for finally. I said, I ain't going to another board meeting again. I'm done. We're not putting a sign out there unless you guys do it yourselves. I'm done. Saying that, we are gonna do a sign. We have the money and we're gonna do it. So I'm giving everybody a month notice, come with some ideas maybe to, in a month's meeting. The first meeting in May, and then we'll talk about it again. And then we'll go out and get quotes, but we're not gonna screw around for months on end on design and everything.
So we just look for electronic signs, like that are in front of the high schools and all that, like, is really nice, would be the VFW.
The VFW, I mean, the one in the library was very nice, but they say that one is very hard to work. That's why only one person knows how to do it, they say it's very hard to manage. I know the fire department sign, at least the Hamlin one, they had a lot of trouble with.
Yeah, they've had some issues.
The other two were bought a year, and Mike might remember too, they were at least a year after that one, right? They were 2 years.
The ones in the schools have a real nice, like the one by with the Greece Olympic, Athena High School. I mean, that's a beautiful sign. That's all it is one of those big electronic signs that gives all the information, what's going on.
I mean, it all depends on fancy, but everybody come with an idea and then we want to get quotes, but we're not gonna keep going out for 6 or 7 months with different ideas and getting quotes every different month. No.
I'd like to see if we could utilize some of the ARPA.
Especially if they're not funded.
Right.
You should tell my partner about,
I can look into
that. I got it.
I can look
They're
into
typing it up for me, they're in this little for the.
But, so we're going, like I said, I'm giving you a month's notice. Think about or go around, look at
I
other
want you guys
sites.
to look at it
get some
first before I
information,
send it off to the supervisor.
what you might like to
Okay, so let's see
see.
if
Like
we'd
I
like to
said,
change anything.
I guess the VFW sign is, if you talk to
He's
people,
at,
ease of use signs too. Like I said, I guess the library said theirs is terrible as far as managing and putting stuff on there, so.
The VFW is pretty easy. You just set it up and you can schedule when it comes up or you can customize it. You can, you know, the fish fry is a standard one that's scheduled to run every Friday, you know, so it's relatively easy.
Here you have to, place it just right, so letters don't fall.
We should get a little more modern.
Put a little bit of tape.
Yeah, I know, we have put metal screws in there, I think there must be 50 metal screws on the whole thing, so that.
Especially like with the moon people coming, we want to welcome.
Right? We have the money, so we're gonna do this, but it's not gonna take all year to get done. So, that's what I'm saying, come with ideas, then we'll go out and get quotes, and we're gonna vote. And that's gonna be it.
Good idea.
But, we can make it look like the libraries, but just do, and put a different sign in there, come on, it's fun. All right, that's all I have for discussion, and anything else is anything for discussion?
No further business, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Aye.